Thanks for stopping by. I'm about to start working on installing a transducer. I got a Helix Humminbird Helix 7 with a side imaging. I've looked on YouTube. I haven't seen any videos on how to mount a transducer on a boat like mine, which is a Stratus 284. So this is how I have my side imaging installed right here. And of course, if you look down here, this is what they call a three-step hole. Step 1, 2, and then of course 3. So this thing does great when and I've only had this unit for about maybe 2 weeks. So this thing does great when I'm just trolling. Of course, not on plane. Of course, when I come on plane and when I come up out the water, it loses the signal. So I've been toying with the idea of installing a secondary transducer, either moving this one down here, which really there's no room to do effectively, or mounting another transducer, either another one on the other side down low, which again puts me back to where I'm at on here, or installing a check that out. So put some silicone around there. It's bolted on. It's got 3 bolts in there. Or put one in the hole, which is just what I'm doing right now. So I've started taking 2 of my batteries out. I've relocated the oil injection for now, and I'm about to move this plate. And it had a Lawrence fish finder in it before I bought the Helix unit. So let's see what we got. I haven't taken this thing out yet, so let's see what we got. Ivy, help her. Yep. That over there in the driveway, please. Just like it is. Alright, so we had a real bad thunderstorm here. Actually, believe it or not, we had a tornado. And this is where we're at with that. Alright, so this is where that transducer was mounted. And I'd like to reuse it if I can. I guess I'd have to get an adapter. But the problem is I don't know who installed this, and when I get up to speed, the depth and stuff goes in and out. It just goes out. It doesn't, doesn't hold the depth in the hole and stuff. So it looks like there's something there also. I don't know what this is. But either way, I'll figure out everything with this, and I'll bring you guys back in here. Alright folks, I'm back. Alright, so what I've done so far is I've moved this hose out of my way, and this hose right here, I moved it out of my way. It's connected there, and I noticed that my bilge pump flow connector is not float. Here you go, float. It wasn't even connected, or isn't connected. Now I bought this boat used, obviously, okay. So what we know is this goes to this probably goes to the original flasher unit that was in the console, which isn't there anymore. So that's no good. This, of course, went to the Lawrence. Lawrence Elite series that was in it when I bought the boat, and I just popped it loose. I'll show you what I used. I used my hammer, and I used a pry bar, and I popped the pry bar down here against the housing. I first started trying to pry it right up against the fiberglass, and I said, okay, well, maybe I need to stay away from that. So here's a piece of the epoxy here that broke off the housing, and now we're gonna bring the housing up here. All right, here we go. So this is the Elite Lawrence Elite. There you go. And supposedly when you mount these things, they're not supposed to be any air bubbles. And I see a little bit of a ridge in the epoxy, some ridges. I don't know if you can see it. If I turn it right, you see the ridges. Yeah. And what I've read and the YouTube videos I've looked at, you're supposed to, this out of the way, wherever you're going to place the transducer, you're supposed to sand it smooth, extremely smooth, so you don't have any air bubbles. Now I can feel ridges there. Let's see, trying to show you guys. I actually feel ridges. Now I'm not sitting here saying that the epoxy didn't feel these ridges. I don't know. I just know that this is probably where I'm going to mount my transducer for my Helix. I'll bring you guys and girls along. And I've got to order it. I haven't ordered it yet. I think it's on Amazon for $49, I believe it is, for the transducer. It's a round transducer, and it comes with the 2-part epoxy. You put a little bit on the hull, put a little bit on the face of the transducer, and then you press it in and turn it. You try to place something on here for a few hours so it can hold the seal. So I am going to, supposedly I can use this. I can't use any kind of solvent or anything to get the epoxy off, but I can chip it off, sand it off, whatever, and I can use an adapter that connects to this cable, which is a blue tip cable, and converts over to a Helix. So I might check into that. I don't know yet, but right now my plan is to just order the Helix transducer, which is a 2D transducer, I believe. Run my 2D off of this so I can get some depths at high speeds, or at least, talking about 30 miles an hour. And and if I decide to, or if I tinker with this enough and I get it working, I'll of course you guys will know, because it'll be the next clip on the video. So either way, we'll see what happens. My process right now is just to clean this up. This is the first time I've messed back here, and I really don't have the boat uncovered to give you guys and girls a walk around. Let me tell you what. Go ahead, I'll show you this Elite. There's the tray. Show you this Elite. It's Elite. Here it is. This is the depth finder that was in there. So, and it's weird because I've tried to look it up, and it doesn't come with a SD card, and supposedly or GPS. Supposedly this on all the other models other than this one, you can flip this door up. There's an SD card slot. There's no door here, so it's kind of odd. But I decided to go with the Helix, like I said. So I'll be throwing that in the trash. All right, so catch you guys later. So I'm gonna try to make this quick. Since last video, I have sanded that down with a wire wheel, and I've moved these hoses out the way for now, and I damaged one of my other hoses while I was trying to use the grinder. So I knocked the transducer loose that came with the flasher, knocked it loose. So I'm gonna take it out of here, but I'm gonna actually put the other one back where I just took the lawrence loose. You see, I've sanded it down. It's a little rough, so I don't know if I can get that completely smooth. So we'll see. I'm gonna go buy some sandpaper, and I'm gonna do it by hand while I'm about to order the transducer. So that's where we're at right now. I'm gonna pin this up for tonight and for the week until we get the new one in. So stay tuned. Let's see. Got ordered my transducer. There's a Humminbird transducer. This is, I guess, designed to mount inside the hull and or around the trolling motor, I guess. You see the little brackets there. It's what they call a puck style. I've sanded it with some 80 grit sandpaper real lightly, just enough to give it a little bit of bite into the epoxy. And this is where I'm going to install it. I went ahead and took the old transducer off. Matter of fact, I still have it here. Here it is, this little one, this little puck. I took it off, and this is from the original flasher. So, and I've already placed the puck here just to make sure it's gonna, you know, kind of seat right, I guess you could say, somewhat flat. and I'm comfortable with that. I feel good about it. And that's, again, I didn't take it out on the lake and test it or try it or anything else. The other Lawrence was mounted here, and it when I was sanding, I found a couple spots that seemed to have some air maybe between the hand laid fiberglass, I guess you could say. But that may be why this was going out. So by putting this back where the original one was, my thoughts is that's where it's designed to go. That's where one is designed to be. So it should be okay. All right, then I got my epoxy here that came with the kit. I've one side's white, one side's clear. Sorry if the camera's messing up. And you unfold it and you knead it till it's uniform. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to pull this puck up, lay some epoxy on the floor there where the puck's at. Put a little bit of epoxy on the face of the puck. Apply the puck to the hull, twist, get the air out, and then put some type of weight, a little small weight on here. So that's what I'm going to go find now, the piece of weight. Stay tuned. I applied the the epoxy to the hole. Then I applied some to the face of the puck. You guys can go online and see some other instructions on how to do that. And I turned the puck about 100, almost 180 degrees, not quite 180 degrees, just to make sure I had a good mating surface. It went in pretty smooth. It definitely fit better than I thought it would be, as far as just the feel of it. And of course I got a socket, a pretty heavy socket sitting on there as a weight. So we'll see how it turns out. I'll keep you guys informed and posted on it. This transducer now, this puck transducer now, got everything back in. And you see it's all buttoned up. So we've taken this thing out one time last week and it worked fine, but we're about to head back out and I wanted to finish this video. So kind of wanted to do a before we go out video real quick, show you guys it's done, and we'll get out here on the lake. I'll try to show you guys and girls the speed and update on the hummingbird there. We just put in and we're at 19 feet. Haven't got on plane yet with this new transom puck. So this is where we're at right now. Gotta get past these no wake buoys up here. There's my helpers. So
he caught 2 fish without us.
Alright folks, here we go. I'm going to try to hold on to the steering wheel and video at the same time, at least as long as I can. Alright, see if we can get up on plane.